Welcome to our lecture on the principles of pharmacology. Medications play a crucial role in patient care, helping to alleviate pain, manage symptoms, and improve outcomes. However, improper administration can have severe consequences, even leading to patient harm or death. As EMTs, we must understand how medications work, their effects on the body, and the safest ways to administer them. Pharmacology is the study of drugs and how they interact with the body. Medications serve several purposes. They prevent or treat disease and relieve pain. The process by which a medication affects the body is called pharmacodynamics. Every medication has a specific effect and target, making it vital for us to understand how they work in order to use them effectively in emergency situations. To understand how medications interact with the body, we need to define a few key terms. An agonist is a substance that stimulates receptors in the body to produce a response, while an antagonist binds to receptors and blocks other substances from taking effect. The dose refers to the amount of medication given, and the action describes the expected therapeutic effect of the drug. Pharmacokinetics is the study of how the body processes a drug. This includes the onset of action, or how quickly the drug takes effect, duration, or how long it remains active, elimination, or how the drug is removed from the body, and peak effect, which is when the drug reaches its maximum therapeutic level. Several factors influence how a medication works, including the route of administration. Whether a medication is taken orally, injected, or inhaled impacts how quickly and effectively it is absorbed. Additionally, shock states can alter a drug's effectiveness because reduced blood circulation can impair absorption and distribution. Medications have specific indications, which are the conditions they are intended to treat. However, they also have contraindications, which are situations where the drug could be harmful. These contraindications can be absolute, meaning the drug should never be given under any circumstance, or relative, meaning the benefits may outweigh the risks. Additionally, medications may cause unintended side effects or untoward effects, which are harmful and unexpected. Every medication has a generic name, which is a standard, non-proprietary name used universally. For example, ibuprofen is a generic name. Medications also have trade names, which are branded names given by manufacturers, such as Tylenol. Keep in mind that the same drug may have multiple trade names, depending on the manufacturer. Medications fall into several categories. Prescription medications require a doctor's order, while over-the-counter, OTC, medications can be purchased without a prescription. Other substances include recreational drugs, herbal remedies, performance-enhancing drugs, vitamins, and alternative medicines. As an EMT, understanding these categories helps in assessing a patient's medication history. The route by which a medication is administered affects how quickly it takes effect. Enteral medications enter the body through the digestive system, such as oral tablets. Parenteral medications bypass the digestive system and enter the body through injections, inhalation, or absorption through the skin. Absorption refers to how a drug moves through body tissues into the bloodstream. Some common administration routes include per rectum, PR, which is useful for patients who cannot swallow, and oral, or per OS, PO, which is one of the most common but slowest routes of absorption. Other administration routes include intravenous, where the medication is delivered directly into the bloodstream for rapid effect, intraosseous, IO, where the drug is injected into the bone marrow, often in critical patients, subcutaneous, SC, which involves injecting beneath the skin, and intramuscular, IM, where the medication is injected into the muscle for a moderate absorption rate. Inhalation is another method where medication is absorbed into the lungs, such as with an inhaler or nebulizer. Sublingual, SL, administration involves placing medication under the tongue for rapid absorption, and transcutaneous medications are applied to the skin, such as patches. Intranasal, IN, delivery uses a mucosal atomizer device to administer medications like naloxone. The form a medication comes in dictates how it is administered. Manufacturers design drugs in various forms to ensure proper absorption and effectiveness. These include tablets, capsules, solutions, suspensions, inhalers, gels, and transdermal patches. The form of a medication plays a crucial role in determining how it is administered, absorbed, and how quickly it takes effect. Medications are available in several forms, including tablets, capsules, solutions, suspensions, inhalers, gels, topical applications, and transdermal patches. Each form is designed to optimize effectiveness while ensuring patient safety. Manufacturers select the form based on factors like the desired onset of action, the medication's stability, and how it interacts with the body. As an EMT, understanding these different forms will help you make informed decisions when administering or assisting with medication delivery in the field. Tablets and capsules are among the most common medication forms. Capsules contain liquid or powdered medication in a gelatin shell, while tablets are compressed mixtures of medication and fillers. Both forms are typically taken orally. A solution is a liquid mixture where the drug is completely dissolved, allowing for even distribution. Solutions can be given through 4-IM or SC injection. A suspension, on the other hand, contains particles that do not fully dissolve and must be shaken before use to ensure proper dosage. Metered dose inhalers, MDIs, are commonly used for respiratory conditions such as asthma. They deliver a precise amount of medication in aerosol form, allowing for fast absorption into the lungs. These devices ensure that each dose is consistent. Topical medications include lotions, creams, and ointments, which are applied to the skin for localized effects. Unlike transcutaneous medications, these do not typically have systemic effects. Transcutaneous, or transdermal, medications are absorbed through the skin into the bloodstream. These medications, like nicotine or fentanyl patches, have systemic effects. EMTs should wear gloves when handling these medications to avoid accidental absorption. Gels are a semi-liquid form of medication that is easy to administer. A common example is oral glucose, which EMTs use to treat hypoglycemia in conscious patients. Oxygen is the most commonly used inhaled medication in emergency medicine. It is administered via nasal cannula or a non-rebreathing mask to support patients experiencing respiratory distress. As EMTs, we must administer medications safely and only under the authorization of medical control. To do this, we follow the rights of medication administration. These rights help prevent medication errors, which can have serious consequences for the patient. Always verify the right patient, right medication, right dose, right route, right time, and right documentation before administering any drug. Medication errors almost always result from failure to follow these guidelines, so attention to detail is critical. EMTs can administer medications in 3 specific ways. Peer-assisted administration is when an EMT administers medication to themselves or a partner in an emergency. Patient-assisted administration occurs when we help a patient take their prescribed medication, such as an inhaler or nitroglycerin. EMT-administered medications are those given directly by us under state or local protocols and medical control. Understanding which medications you're authorized to administer and under what conditions is vital for ensuring safe and effective patient care. When administering oral medications, the first step is ensuring the patient has a patent airway and is able to swallow. Never give oral medications to unconscious patients or those who cannot protect their airway. Instruct the patient to chew or swallow the medication, depending on its form. Oral medications are easy to administer, but take longer to take effect because they must be absorbed through the digestive system. One of the most common oral medications EMTs administer is oral glucose. This is a sugar used by the body's cells for energy and is used to treat hypoglycemia. EMTs administer it only by mouth, and it should never be given to an unconscious patient or anyone who cannot swallow properly. If the patient is unable to take oral glucose safely, alternative treatments should be considered. Aspirin is another common medication given by EMTs. It helps reduce fever, pain, and inflammation, and is particularly useful during a heart attack because it prevents platelet aggregation. However, aspirin should not be given to patients with hypersensitivity to it, those with liver damage, bleeding disorders, asthma, or children, due to the risk of Reye's syndrome. Always check for contraindications before administering aspirin. Sublingual medications are placed under the tongue, allowing for quick absorption into the bloodstream. This method is fast and easy to administer. However, it requires the patient to have a clear airway and be cooperative. If the patient is unresponsive or unable to follow instructions, sublingual administration may not be appropriate. A common sublingual medication is nitroglycerin, which is used to relieve angina pain in cardiac patients. It works by dilating blood vessels, increasing blood flow, and reducing the heart's workload. Nitroglycerin is available as both a tablet and a spray. However, it should never be given to patients who have taken erectile dysfunction medications within the past 24 to 48 hours, as the combination can cause life-threatening drops in blood pressure. Before administering nitroglycerin, always check the patient's blood pressure and obtain approval from medical control if required by protocol. If nitroglycerin does not relieve chest pain, the patient may be experiencing a heart attack rather than angina. Be aware that nitroglycerin may cause mild headaches due to blood vessel dilation, and patients should be monitored closely. Nitroglycerin tablets are placed under the tongue, where they dissolve and enter the bloodstream quickly. A tingling or burning sensation under the tongue is normal and indicates that the medication is working. Storage is important, as nitroglycerin is sensitive to light and heat. The spray form of nitroglycerin is administered similarly, one spray under the tongue, allowing it to absorb without swallowing. When administering nitroglycerin, wait 5 minutes before giving a second dose, if necessary and permitted by protocol. During this time, monitor the patient's vital signs closely. Wear gloves to avoid absorbing the medication yourself. Always follow your local guidelines and protocols when administering nitroglycerin or any sublingual medication. Intramuscular, or IM, injections deliver medication directly into muscle tissue, allowing for rapid absorption. This method is quick and easy without requiring access. However, using a needle may cause pain or anxiety in some patients. Always ensure the injection is given correctly to avoid complications. One of the most common IM medications administered by EMTs is epinephrine, also known as adrenaline. This medication stimulates the body's fight-or-flight response, increasing heart rate and constricting blood vessels. It is primarily used for severe allergic reactions, or anaphylaxis, to prevent airway swelling and shock. Epinephrine should not be given to patients with conditions like hypertension, hypothermia, or a recent heart attack unless it is necessary to treat anaphylaxis. In most cases, epinephrine is administered via an autoinjector, making it easy and safe to use in the field. However, it is important to note that patients may experience side effects such as an increased heart rate or anxiety. Another important IM medication is naloxone, also known as Narcan. Naloxone is used to reverse opioid overdoses by blocking opioid receptors in the brain. While naloxone can save lives, it may trigger withdrawal symptoms, which can include agitation, vomiting, and even aggressive behavior. Always follow protocol and ensure medical control is aware of any naloxone administration. Naloxone is often administered intranasally using a mucosal atomizer device, MAD, which sprays the medication into the nasal passages for rapid absorption. This method is non-invasive and highly effective, especially when 4 or IM administration is not an option. However, multiple doses may be required depending on the severity of the overdose. Oxygen is one of the most critical medications in pre-hospital care. All cells in the body require oxygen to survive. EMTs typically administer oxygen via a non-rebreathing mask or a nasal cannula. The choice of delivery method depends on the patient's condition and oxygen needs. A metered dose inhaler, MDI, delivers a measured amount of medication in aerosol form, allowing the patient to inhale it directly into the lungs. This method ensures consistent dosing and quick absorption into the bloodstream. MDIs are commonly used for respiratory conditions like asthma. However, improper use can reduce the medication's effectiveness, so patients should be instructed on how to use them correctly. Some inhalers come with spacer devices, which help direct the medication into the lungs more effectively. The patient sprays the prescribed dose into the spacer and then inhales it through the mouthpiece. This method is especially useful for children or patients who have difficulty timing their inhalation correctly with the spray. Small volume nebulizers convert liquid medication into a fine mist that the patient inhales over a few minutes. Nebulizers are often more effective than MDIs for patients experiencing moderate to severe respiratory distress. These devices require an external air or oxygen source and can be used in conjunction with other respiratory treatments, such as CPAP or bag mask ventilation. As part of a thorough patient assessment, EMTs must identify what medications a patient is taking. This information provides vital clues about the patient's medical history and helps guide treatment decisions. Patients may take medications as prescribed, inconsistently, or not at all, which can significantly impact their current condition. It is essential to obtain a complete medication history, as some medications can alter a patient's symptoms or affect how treatments should be administered. Many emergency situations are linked to non-compliance with prescribed medications, overdoses, or interactions between multiple drugs. Medication errors occur when a drug is used inappropriately and causes potential harm to the patient. These errors can result from administering the wrong drug, the wrong dose, or using an incorrect route. While errors can happen, they are preventable if EMTs follow the proper procedures and double-check each step of administration. If a medication error occurs, follow these steps. First, provide appropriate patient care to address any adverse effects. Next, notify medical control immediately and follow all local protocols. Ensure that you document the event accurately and honestly. Finally, discuss the situation with your supervisor or medical director to prevent future errors. Learning from mistakes is crucial in improving patient safety.